So there we go.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, welcome. My name is Adam Laveau, and I'm going to be hosting today's chat in conjunction with Osama. So, what we are looking at here is the Phys Ed ME group, and what we want to do is come up with a few goals, some things that we want to achieve this year. But first of all, let's have a bit of an introduction because this is the first time we've hung out. So, who would like to go first? Osama? You want to go
Okay.
first?
Why not? Okay. I'm Osama, a PE teacher in Dubai. I've been teaching for the last 15 years. I've been in Saudi Arabia, Oman, and now I'm in Dubai. I teach mainly now for the last 8 years. I teach primary, PYP, IB school.
Okay, excellent. So, who else? Where are we at? Nick, do you want to give a quick introduction to some new people?
Sure. I'm Nick Enlick. I'm in Pennsylvania, in the United States, and I teach K through 6 health and phys ed, and this is my 10th year teaching.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Avril.
Hi guys, I'm Avril Chow. I am also in Dubai. This is my third year here. I'm teaching mainly primary PE. I was secondary trained as well. What else did you want to know? Yeah, this is my 6th or 7th year of teaching.
Okay, awesome. Rima.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, I'm Rima Kahar. I basically teach at Fountainhead School in Surat, India. I've been teaching since last 5 years, and I teach kindergarten to grade 6. So, yeah.
Awesome. Riyadh.
Hey guys, my name is Riyadh Qamariya. I'm from Jordan originally. Finished my MA before like 1 year, and now I'm working in Dubai as a fitness trainer in indoor school. And nice to meet you all.
Cool. And last but not least, Ramat.
Are you on?
I'm still having problem with some technical issues here.
No,
Sorry,
you're
guys.
fine. You're fine.
No,
We
you're
can hear you
good.
loud.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you give yourself a quick introduction to everybody?
Oh, okay. My name is, they call me Max here. I've been teaching in this school for about 10 years now. I'm teaching elementary level. Primary 1 to primary 6. We call it primary 1 and primary 6. Not grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, but primary 1, primary 2, primary, yeah.
And what country are you in?
I'm from Indonesia.
Cool.
Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay. So my name's Adam, and I've been teaching now. This is my 8th year of teaching, and I'm currently teaching in a K to 12 school, and I teach PE K through 12. And we have about 400 kids. Before that, I was secondary trained, and I've taught in Shanghai for 2 years as well. Let's move on then. Awesome. So we've all got a quick introduction. What I'd like you to do now is just have a quick 2 minutes and think of something good you are doing in PE at the moment. So you can just give us a quick example of good practice that you're doing at the moment. And we'll go with Nick.
Well, right now I have a student teacher, so the years kind of start off a little different for me. So that's always a challenge, but a fun challenge. I'd probably say one of the biggest things that I have going on, or that I've been using, is between QR codes and augmented reality in my classes to either introduce content or provide activities for students. I'd probably say QR codes, especially the last 3 years, have definitely been a major part, whether it's through Google Forms and doing an exit ticket or formative assessment with the students, or to introduce or provide activities for them to do in class. So that's probably one of best things that I've done that I continue to use probably every year. Looking for new things to do, always looking for new things. I started with last year and this year I kind of worked a little bit with augmented reality, first with Erasmus last year and then this year really pushing Daiquiri to introduce content, especially at the beginning of the year. I did like a fitness scavenger hunt with the students using Daiquiri and everything else. So those are kind of some of the things that I've been doing here lately.
Cool, awesome. I'd like to talk a bit more about your, how do you do with your exit tickets?
So I just created, mostly I just use Google Forms. So I'll create the form and then I attach the link to a QR code, so at the end of class when the kids are done, they just grab an iPod, scan the code, and then it might be 2 or 3 questions about, you know, whatever activity we are doing that day. So it could be a skill-related question about how to perform the skill. Sometimes I have heart rate monitors, so I'll even have them check and record their heart rate, different things like that before they go, or tell me a like or dislike about class, just different things like that, just to kind of get that feedback from the students.
Do you have a class set of iPods?
We have a set in the building that nobody else uses.
Oh, nice.
A lot of teachers forget that we even have them, because we also have Chromebook carts and netbook carts, and they use those mostly with their kids as opposed to the iPod. So I'm the one that updates the iPod, so I put all the apps on. I basically control it, so I kind of keep it to myself since I don't have the use of the netbooks and Chromebooks and stuff. So that's kind of, you know, I've kind of taken them in, but they are for the whole building to use.
Oh, nice, nice. It looks like we've got Justin online as well. Welcome.
Good morning, Justin.
Hey, hey, hey. How's everybody doing today?
Good. Do you want to give a quick introduction, Justin? We've just done introductions, and well, we're not sure about the Angel tab, but we'll see how it rolls.
Alright, real quick. My name is Justin Schleider. I'm a phys ed teacher in Springfield, New Jersey. I teach kindergarten to 6th grade, which would be ages 5 to 13. So that's my story. I enjoy teaching very much, and I hope to learn a lot today from you guys.
Awesome. So we've just done introductions, and Nick's just been telling us a little bit about what he's doing in his lessons at the moment. So I'll give you a few minutes to come up with something good that you're doing in lessons at the moment. Okay.
Oh, I could tell you right away. It's not too hard.
Man of much knowledge.
No, it's just very simple what I'm doing. It's not hard to think about. Right now we're in the middle of a American football unit for my older kids. So we're working on throwing and catching, basically the basics of the beginning of the year for me. We are on Kid Blog, so we started doing a blog about me for the summer. Just what did you do, and then a little bit about yourself for the rest of the world to see. And then hopefully Nick will get his class rolling a little bit, and we can meet up and start doing a little bit about blogging and talking to each other. And then my younger kids, we are still in the middle of our locomotor movements. So skipping, running, galloping, all that stuff. And then we are also utilizing the underhand roll, the one-hand underhand roll. So I just did like a little pin knockdown unit with that. And that's where I am for the year. So pretty basic, simple stuff in the beginning.
Sweet, man. That's really sounding good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Osama, do you want to give us a few bits about what you're doing at the moment?
Okay, regarding technology, trying to get the kids more into the Edmodo. It's really a great tool for me. Before I used it for communicate with the kids, but this year I'm using it to kind of assessment and get formative assessment and summative assessment for the kids, where I set up the assessment and I send it to the kids. and it's good also to get kids feedback about the things we're doing. There's lots of tools in Edmodo that we can use, and also I'm trying to use Google Classroom this year now. So just started with that to try to go through it, and hopefully try to compare it with Edmodo and see what's the best thing for the kids.
Nice, awesome. Okay, Avril.
Hi. So we've just finished our gymnastics unit for early years to year 3. One thing I always try to do right from the beginning is get the kids to get into their own warm-ups. Obviously something that is suitable. So if we see someone doing something that's not, we talk about why not and what would be suitable, all that sort of stuff. I also tend to try to get those cross-curricular links in. So things like, for example, if I have this warm-up I do where there's poly spots on the ground, and under them I might put addition or subtraction things for them, and the number that they come up with is how many steps they have to take, or gallops or skips or hops or jumps to the next spot to find something else to do. So I'm really big into that cross-curricular links and giving kids the independence to take over and at least get their warm-up going.
Awesome, sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Rima.
Yep. We actually, I teach 3 different grades. So with all 3 different grades, I tried out different strategies. With our grade 5, we basically tried out flipped classroom because we, as a team, we realized that we are using a lot of time for giving instructions. So what we did is what instructions we wanted to give kids prior to the class they have. We started putting up blogs, videos on the blog, on our school blog. So students could view it before they enter the classroom. So this used to be done like 2 days earlier. We used to post the videos or the games or the strategies that we want them to know earlier on the blog, and they used to view it and come, and then they had to just put it into action during the school, during the class. So this is one of the strategies that we used, like a flipped classroom. Second thing that we did, we gave them a lot of time where they are playing, and then the reflections what they had to do after the game. We posted forms on the blogs again, on our school blog, so students reflected through Google Forms. We also introduced Twitter and Google Classrooms. So one of our grades, they use both the forums, Google Classroom, where we assign assignments to our grade 6 kids, and they revert back through those through Google Classroom. They also post the actions that they are taking after school hours for their well-being. They post it on Twitter. So we actually have a Twitter account for our grade 6. So currently, like when it comes with technology, actually we've just started integrating technology with PE. So we also use the QR codes with our grade 5. So we've been at least successful in using tech in these cases. So yeah, that's what we do here. I mean, we are currently doing here.
Amazing.
That's got to be Justin.
That was solid right there. I mean, flip videos and phys ed. Who would have thought? I mean,
elementary
I love that.
too.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. Really cool.
I mean, I should mention that this inspiration is all coming from Nathan. Before we started this year, we had an hangout with Nathan, how to integrate tech with PE. So a lot of ideas, we've got through him. So yeah, cheers to Nathan.
It's awesome.
Okay, and Riyadh?
Hey, yo guys, as I mentioned earlier, I work with the grade 10 and 11, and there's something new that I'm trying to, because it's an indoor school, the students go to their families on the weekends, and like all my work during the school days are ruined. I'm working with the groups that they are obese. We call them, I can hear my sound or, okay, that's better. I work with the groups, like the obese groups, we call them priority groups. So I have to work with them 4 days in a week, try to make out the best of the physical education class or the sport class to drop the weight. But when they go out to their home, they come adding more weights before they went out. So I'm trying to figure out with them how to just let's say make them know what they have to do, what they have to eat. That's what I'm trying to. But it's not working, as I can see.
I'm sure it'll get there in the end. Okay, so what am I doing at the moment? So before
I
I went,
can.
Wait a second. Let's find out who's making this
Yeah,
noise.
just find out who it is and then mute them. That's
Maybe it's
all.
Adam. That's wait. Yes, Rahmat. Sorry, Rahmat. Go Adam.
okay, so before I came for got this job, I was working in Shanghai, and the environment didn't allow me to experiment with my teaching. And before that, I was in a very high-achieving sixth form college in England. So I've come in now, and I've basically given a lot of ownership on how I can teach the kids, and the VP is very supportive. So we're trying to come up with as many different ways and really experimenting with our teaching. So we're using a lot of the district are pushing literacy and ICT and collaboration as our three main goals for this year. So collaborating a lot between us as a PE department. We all got given an iPad, so I also have my own work iPad, and so we have 3 iPads in our department now. Hopefully we might be able to push it to 4 by the end of the year. And what we're trying to do is really get the kids with 21st century learning. So I know a couple of guys here have seen that I just had a new TV put in, so that's going to help massively, especially with the older kids, with the video analysis. But we've also just been using that for some stuff like Class Dojo and giving them a basic overview of aiming for at least 90% of good stuff and aiming for more positive stuff rather than negative to reinforce behaviour. And what the literacy side of it, I can't remember whose blog it was, but I saw someone's blog, and they'd stuck up letters of the alphabet around the gymnasium. So we've stuck these letters up around, and just as a quick pulse raiser, we might have like 3 keywords, and we'll split the group up into 3, and then have one group spell 1 keyword, so they have to run, tap the wall, then run on to the next letter, and just emphasising the spelling, because all our children are EAL students. And for the secondary, we've been starting to push a little bit of IT, and I know we were talking about Edmodo before, but we're a GAF school, so I'm trying to look for ways of basically working smarter, because in previous roles I've done like IT coordinator roles within the PE department and how we can work better with IT. So for example, some of you may have read the blog about the fitness testing. In the past, they've entered all 400 kids' fitness data, and I was like, why, when we can have at least 3/4 of them, because they're old enough to do it themselves, they've all got their own Google addresses or usernames, so we know where that data's come from. So I'm all about working smarter, but also getting new ideas from here, and hopefully this year I can really experiment with 8th year of teaching, but I'm still learning and constantly learning. So let's see how it goes. And obviously this is a massive push for all us lot in the Middle East, and we have 2 Americans, but I know they're very influential about helping us both cross-curricular and cross-country sort of thing.
Yeah,
all right. Okay, so next up was talking about favourite apps or tech we use in our PE lessons at the moment. So, Ramat, sorry.
Hi there. Am I okay now? The voice, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Well, basically, I'm a newbie in terms of using technology. I'm just starting. We actually starting this term two last week. I just got back from the holiday, so basically we've done. I'm teaching lower primary, Basically, for primary 1 and 2, I taught them last term about locomotor and non-locomotor skills, and then space awareness, and some of the throwing and catching skills as well. For the upper primary, grade 4 to grade 6, this term I'm teaching them a basic basketball lesson. Which is we start from basic dribbling, passing, and layup. So I'm only this term I'm using Class Dojo. I'm very new to the technology. Actually, I never encounter, but to me, I think my main concern is with my timing, I mean my schedule, because my supervisor only give me once a week PE, only once a week PE. So it's hard for me to set a high expectation, to be honest, because we only have 60 minutes of PE. So it's not very, it's not very helping at all actually, because we only meet once a week. So basically, I'm now currently trying to just use the school dojo, the school dojo, is it?
Class dojo.
Sorry, the class dojo, just to keep track on their attendance, behavior, just their punctuality. Are they prepared for the class? Basically, it's just the basic, what do you call this? Just to mold their behavior yeah. So I'm here new as a newbie, so I need to learn more in terms of using technology, integrated with the PE and technology. So far, I'm using only the Class Dojo, and I did actually try the Google Doc just to putting the results so that the kids can check their result last term. That's it.
Nice. Nice. It's all about steps and obviously working your way into what's comfortable. Okay. So we're going on to looking at let's say your best bit of maybe app, iPad app or iPhone app, or best bit of technology you use in your lessons at the moment. Why? How is it beneficial to you? Okay. Justin.
Adam, you start now.
Oh, you want me to start? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, here we go then. Best bit that I'm using at the moment. So, Class Dojo, we've just spoke about. That's a new thing to me. I've not used that before, but it seems to be helping, and we're going for positivity. So, yeah, there are times where there are negative points given out, but on the whole, I run it as a class event or a class team event, so that they're all working for one another, and try to go for more positives than negatives all the time. And I give them a goal of 90%. And then what they're aiming for is a sort of the Class Dojo Hall of Fame. So they'll get their photo and they'll get it put up on the gymnasium wall. And we'll give them maybe like a prize of they can use certain PE equipment out in recess for 1 week or something like that. So I just give them something to work towards. That's for the lower school. The higher school, so the middle school, high school lessons, we're looking now at, we started using 3-ring, and I don't know if any of you have used 3-ring before, but that is really helping. We take all this photo and video, and it's just, it starts to pile up on your iPad. Using apps like those, it doesn't, so it just uploads straight away, and if you've got Wi-Fi in your gym, etc., it can be a massive benefit. But I've also just signed up with Jared for his Vidalize project, so I'm going to be testing that out in the next month, 6 weeks or so. So it's all exciting times. Best app that I use at the moment is obviously Coach's Eye for me for the high school, just showing them what they're doing and how they can improve it. But we also use BAM, and I don't know if any of you have used BAM before, but BAM's pretty good. Basically just a video delay system. So if it's something like set shot, straight in, get them to do the set shot, and then they can go and see their own performance on there as well. So, yeah, all good. Let's see who else. Justin, come on, give me some inspiration. Show me what you're doing.
With the tech, I'm lucky. We just are a Google Labs school as well this year, and my school dumped about 50 grand into technology. So I have fourth, fifth, and sixth all have Chromebooks. There's an iPad cart that I have pretty easy access to because nobody in my school's really using it. And then we have iPad minis for K to 2. So, but the problem is when they got the iPad minis, they didn't put cases on it. So I have second graders taking out iPad minis at my gym, and I almost had a heart attack when I realized they didn't have cases on it when I opened the thing. But when I did my fitness testing, I had them bring in the iPads, and I put the link on Google Forms, and I used a QR code. So they scanned the QR code, it took them to the Google form. Then they filled out their information for the link or for the fitness testing, and then based on your help, Adam, I was able to put all the information into the spreadsheet and use AutoCrat to come up with the PDF file and send it to the kids of what they did and what they scored. And then I put the note on the bottom that I want a 20% increase by the end of the year in May when we do it again. So that's one way I use the technology. We talked earlier about Kid Blog. So I'm really trying to get the kids to write for the fun of writing and not because we're forced to, although it's hard for kids. But I have my sixth graders doing on their Chromebooks, doing the Kid Blog and getting their story out to the world and commenting on other classes, which I like. I do use the iPads for video stuff, where I'll video the kids and then I'll call them over. I don't use it as well as I could and should. I know about Coach's Eye and UberSense and the delayed thing is really cool. I don't have a big TV screen in there yet. That's something I want to work on and get an Apple TV so I can show them on the big screen instead of a little iPad.
Well, what you could use, Justin, is Reflector. Have you seen that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that on a couple at my school, which is cool. But you still need a screen or something to look at, correct?
Yeah, but you could connect a laptop up to a projector and then keep that in one corner, and then use the reflector so you could be anywhere in the gym and just beam your image from your iPad up to the big screen.
Nice. I do have a projector and a laptop that are mine, in the gym all the time. So I enjoy that. And then the other thing I use is just my website a lot, because in the beginning of the year it was really hard getting my QR codes up and running. I don't know why a QR reader is that difficult to download, but in my school it seemed very, very hard because they have all these settings on there. I'm not the tech person, so it doesn't make sense to me. It seemed like it should be very easy. But I put a lot of stuff right on the website and then put links to there so the kids know. Go on my website, click the link. So I've been trying to use Google Forms a lot. Very, very simple and efficient and effective. So I didn't get I will be using Edmodo in a little bit. Some of my kids are signed up. And then I'm really going to use that more as a Facebook kind of interaction versus putting out content. But so I want the kids to be able to meet up with other schools and talk to the kids. And then Moto, you could actually join your classes together. So my class can join with Osama's class, and I mean we could have more than one class. We could all join together, and the posts can go so everyone sees it. Then you could have your classes individually, so only they see different posts, and it's really cool. I do like Edmodo. I have Google Classroom that I set up with my kids. I haven't really used it that much yet. That'll be more when I start to get into health, using Google Classroom. Right now, for me, I only see Google Classroom as being able to push out assignments to each kid individually. I'm sure there's a lot more to it that I don't know yet. And I know Alice Keeler on Twitter came up with 2 different posts of 35 total ways to use Google Classroom. So I will start to look into that and see how I can implement it. It's just a little harder in phys ed sometimes to use the tech. I feel like it takes away a little bit of my class time because in the beginning there is such a struggle to get the kids, that learning curve. But hopefully once we get over that, it'll really save some time in the long run.
Like, I'm still experimenting with Google Classroom, but this week, so we've got a week off, I just posted, you can post messages or announcements.
Yep.
So I just posted a quick message and it's simple. Once you've posted it for one, you can just click down, post for all. And I posted so what have you learned this week in volleyball? And just asked them to give me some 3 key learning points. But that can be then put to maybe something like Padlet, which is then your interactive message board or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Google Classroom is the easiest thing I've ever come across in my life to set up. I mean, you could set up your class in 3 minutes. I mean, it's that simple. Really, really effective for that when they set it up. So if you haven't used it in your Google School, set it up. I mean, it takes no time at all.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, Avril, do you want to go next?
Sure. I feel like I'm really technologically behind over here because we've got iPads, but they're just for teacher use. We don't have a PE department set or anything. They're not really supporting us in that we've got Wi-Fi in the gym, but it doesn't hardly work for some reason. We don't even have it in our office. So for me to get the iPad out and actually make it useful, it's proving really difficult, which is a shame because they're spending all this money. We've got TV screens around the hallways and everything in the main buildings, but when it comes to PE and the gym, they won't even give us a projector, nothing. So it's a bit strange because we've got this online, it's called the VLE, it's our virtual learning environment online, where classes now post homework on there. So, and we are able to use that, but I find I can only use it with year 5 and up because year 3s and in younger struggle, and to be honest, they won't get on there and have a look. So yeah, technologically, at the moment I use my iPad to take my register, and I've got Idocio. I don't know if anyone uses that, and that helps me sort the groups out as well. But that's about and video analyzing. Obviously, I use that quite a bit, but that's about it. So I'm hoping to learn a lot from you guys and push for projector and our Wi-Fi working and put it all to use. Hopefully.
You could set up your phone as a hotspot if you have an internet plan over there, and then you could use your phone as a hotspot to take the internet off, or even your computer.
I've tried. The internet hardly works in our gym. Apparently, it's something to do with the walls being really thick. So that's why we can't even get Wi-Fi in the office. Our offices are located in the change rooms next to the gym. It's a problem.
Yeah.
I think I just have to move.
Something maybe to have a look at with your iPad is something called Too Noisy Light, and it's basically like a sound. If you want the kids to maybe walk quietly, they can actually see this nice happy face, and then if they make too much noise, he puts his hands in his ears, and it works especially with the younger kids because I try to get them to keep it smiling all the time. So.
Right, yeah, because I use traffic lights at the moment. I have laminated cards of traffic lights, and that's they can see that better than the iPad Mini. So
yeah, well, it's quite fun because they'll be there and I'll say, right, if you can keep him smiling, then maybe class now for maybe 3 or 4 more dojo points or something like that.
Okay, I'll look at that definitely. Thank you.
It's definitely worth a look. Okay, where are we up to, Nick?
Yeah, I want to piggyback a little bit on some of the stuff that everybody's talking about. Adam, I also use Class Dojo, like a lot of people even talked about. But I'm linked in with the other teachers, so I had the classroom teachers create their classrooms and then share it with me. That way we're all connected. I think it makes it a little bit more I think it's a little bit more meaningful because, again, I only see them once or twice in a week, depending, so it's not like I see them all the time. But if they go back to their class or when the teacher sends that report home to the parents, it'll show them if I gave them a point or docked them a point, then it'll actually show on that report that I gave them the point or that I docked them a point, and then for what it was. It didn't. It's really nice in that factor that it identifies who assigns the points when classes are shared. So that's a pretty neat feature that they just came out with as far as Dojo's concerned. That just happened this summer, so that's pretty nice. Like Justin said, trying to get on KidBlog a little bit and get connected that way. My student teacher has about 2 weeks, so I'm hoping that once he's gone, then I'll be able to kind of do more of that stuff, because right now he's kind of doing everything. So trying to think of what else we're using. Talked a little bit about before QR codes a lot, Google Forms a lot. Adam and Justin, I shared that choose your own adventure little activity that I tried out yesterday. So that's something that I'm kind of looking into as far as as like a warm-up activity for my older kids. Come in and scan the QR code with the iPod and kind of go through the activities. So I'm looking to expand that a little bit. I just don't know if I'm smart enough to figure out where all the directions go. I kind of get lost after like 3 or 4. So, like Justin said, you got to create that storyboard and have all your arrows and everything else. But it's pretty neat. It wasn't too bad to set up. Trying to think of what else I got going on. Google Classroom, I'll be using. I set that up beginning of the year. Again, basically using it to push out assignments for the students. They'll go on and check it out and have them do 1 or 2 assignments through that. But that's kind of the big thing right now. App-wise, I use Splashtop a lot. Splashtop allows you to remotely access your laptop. So, for example, I'll have my computer connected to my speaker for music in class, but the problem is that I'd always have to run over to that corner to start and stop the music. With Splashtop, I can start and stop the music anywhere in the gym because it remotely will access my desktop. So, if you
Doceri's another one that you can use. But Doceri's like $20. I don't know how much Splashtop is.
Splashtop you can get, it ranges, but a lot of times you can find it for like $5.
Yeah, I mean Doceri's cool when you can literally use your iPad to control the screen and draw on it of the laptop, and when you're running stuff. Really cool stuff. And then one more thing. If you get on Amazon, they have a Bluetooth adapter, which is like $12. It runs off a USB, and you plug the headphone jack into it that you would normally plug into your phone or the laptop for music, and it turns whatever system you have into Bluetooth. So I literally have my whole gym is Bluetooth now that I run off of my phone. So I take the little cord that it's a quarter jack that plugs into my amp, and then it goes to the little the MP3 jack. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then I plug it. Yeah, and then I plug it right into my right into the Bluetooth, a little adapter, and it needs power, so it needs a USB. So I plug that right into the little electric right there, and now my gym is Bluetooth, so I can walk around and start and stop the music on my phone right there because I have everything through my phone. So it's $12. I can research. I'll put the link on the side. But really, really worthwhile little piece of equipment if you get a chance. It turns anything into Bluetooth if you have that headphone adapter.
There's also Tango. Have you seen Tango?
No, what's that?
Tango is like, so if you've got all your music on your iPad or iPod, iPhone, etc., basically you can connect your iPhone to your iPad. So your iPad's the one that's playing the music, and as long as they're both on the same Wi-Fi network, then they do
Cool.
exactly the same thing.
And how much is that?
Couple of dollars.
Oh, nice. I'll definitely look into that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So something else to have a look at, people, if you don't already know about it.
Tango. All right, I gotta write that down.
Okay, Osama, do you want to give us some bits what you're doing? Your favorite apps, technology.
Again, it's Edmodo. To be honest, this year I'm struggling more with two things. First thing is that the P time now is reduced till to around 40 minutes. And with the kids doing that twice a week, I have to mute someone here. Wait a minute. Not sure who was it. Yes. Okay. So I'm struggling with the time. I try part of what we agree with the kids, that the essential agreement is that we're going to have P to be active more. So I'm trying to shame with the primary, with the more you're using technology, you might sometimes end up with the non-active PE. So usually I like to share with the kids, do the videos things. So that's why I'm using Edmodo more now. So usually I start with some videos with the kids. I share that, let them watch it before we start in the unit. I send it to in Edmodo to watch it. Usually I do that during a PE lesson, but not anymore. Especially with 40 minutes, I want the kids to be more active. So the kids watch the videos before we start. Maybe just for 4 or 5 minutes. I try to do it in the gym, and then we start. Yeah. So Edmodo. What else? I'm lost now.
It's what you're doing at the moment, and what technology you're using. Oh, how's that enhancing your lessons?
Yeah, again, as I said, using technology with the primary is not so easy. So I'm using it mainly with my higher grades, like grade 4s and 5s mainly. Using the video, and as you said, PAM delay video is really good with the kids. It shows in slow motion. I'm going to be using that next unit. We're going to do swimming. The kids do record themselves, and they observe themselves and do also peer assessment, where they watch the other colleagues and give them straight away feedback. So that's mainly what I'm doing now.
Cool. So when I was in Shanghai, there's a school that have a pretty good swimming program set up. And I went to go and watch them, and they basically throw their iPads in the pool. They have these waterproof faces, so that the kids can see themselves on the water using coach's eyes, so they can be backwards and forwards and talking about stroke technique, etc. They do some really good stuff, so we can have a chat about that.
Nice.
Okay, Ramat, are you still there? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you're a newbie with technology and stuff, but can you tell us how it's enhancing your lessons?
Well, technology, okay. Like I mentioned earlier that I'm using only the Class Dojo. So I'm thinking of some of the ideas that I heard. Google Classroom. I definitely need to try the Google Classroom. I haven't really checked on it. Well, technology. I only use my boombox for the dancing class. That's the only so far. But I'm thinking of some of the cool suggestion and ideas just now I heard. I'm definitely gonna try it. Yeah.
Cool. Like when I was working in England before we had iPads and stuff that were more easily available, we used to use like the little flip cameras. I don't know if any of you guys have seen those. So the kids would just literally take some video evidence, and then they'd have a little USB pop out, and then the kids could watch that on a computer or a big screen. So that could be a cheaper alternative if you've not got the iPads, etc., or similar. Okay, Rima.
Yeah. I think I mentioned earlier that I'm using a lot of Google Classroom. So basically, I drop in all my assignments on Google Classroom. But currently, like right now, we are having our athletics unit going on. So for that, what we are doing is we're using the UberSense app, which is similar to Coach's Eye. So where students record their videos, how they're practicing and the drills that they're doing and the techniques which they're using. So they record it and they view their performance, and based on the performance, they reflect as to where they need to improve their performance. So one we are using is Coach's Eye. Other than that, like everybody mentioned, we are using the QR code scanner and the reader. So our kids, when they come in, they can directly scan the QR codes and watch the video and get into
Nice.
action. Other than that, this year I've also collaborated with a school in the US known as the Wallen Pop-up School. Initially, what happened, we were facing a problem with the timing, like day and night timings. So what we've done is we record our videos of students playing and instructing how the game is to be played on YouTube, and then we share our videos. So this is how students are teaching each other from different countries the local games that they play. So this is one. So those both our schools, we've joined as students on Edmodo. So on Edmodo, our students collaborate through Edmodo. So that's what we are doing it right now.
Wow, awesome. Sounds amazing. Like I said, like remind me after this, and I'll send you some track and field resources across. I've got a couple that maybe we can all use, which are pretty good. Okay, Riyadh.
Yeah, according to the environmental control issue that like in Middle East or my areas, UAE, my students when they go out to home, they love to have a lot of junk foods. So we talked with each other about an app, nutrition tips, it's called. So I recommended them to download the nutrition tips apps and try to, just before they start eating, just try to figure out how much calories, what's the good things inside, what's the bad things. But I think behavioral change, as you said before, Adam, is a little bit hard to change on grade 10 or 11. Now, I love elementary students, you can deal with them easily. You can implement the ideas easily. But when talking with the grade 10 and 11 years, it's a little bit hard. So I can't notice that they are improving. If you can understand me, I can't tell if they are following the schedule out when they go home. They love to eat too much rice, especially here in Dubai. And that's bad for my program because on the scale they are not dropping weight. They are dropping weight during the 4 or 5 days while they are with me. But when go back from their homes in the weekends, you can tell they add more weight. That's killing me. And I'm trying to just give them the idea of healthy lifestyle, how to live healthy. It's not all about eating and eating and eating. And they are already obese. If I can just next time provide you with the sample of their weight, you will be amazed. I have like a group of 12, 15 students, and they are all overweight. I have to study my class plan before doing anything in case of somebody's get heart attack or something.
It's a Dubai problem, isn't it?
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, have you heard? Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, have you heard about this app, MyFitnessPal?
I will
I
see
guess,
that.
yeah, I guess that could help you because in that app you can track the daily record of what your students are eating and how your students are being active and how they're doing it. So yeah, you can just try out MyFitnessPal. I think it would be of a great use.
I will see. I need to figure out with you guys how I can change somebody' behavior while he's now 15 or 16, especially like lifestyle behaviors. We've been told that physical education teachers try to change the behavioral attitude, try to move them from bad to good through sport and activities. But how to reach that point, I'm not that old. I mean, that I'm not experienced as you guys, my mentors, and I need to figure it out really. How you can affect like by role modeling. I don't think I'm very slim. I'm very obese.
Yeah, do you get the parents involved? I mean, you can't do
No,
anything. You
no, we
gotta,
can't. We
you
can't contact parents. It's not
see,
allowed.
that's brutal because that's where all their eating habits are coming from. And I don't care how much you exercise, if you're not eating properly, you're not going to even maintain your weight. You're going to constantly gain. So I know that firsthand when I try to, lose weight, that my eating habits have to change. And your kids haven't even found alcohol yet, hopefully. So once that happens, oh, good Lord, it's all downhill from there.
Hey, it's dry over here, Justin.
Especially in Saudi Arabia, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Good for you guys. I'll tell you what, because then you get out empty calories, and then once you start drinking, then you get bad food decisions on top of empty calories.
But Justin, you're a role model. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. But when I was younger, back in the day,
Where's that angel gone off on top of your head?
it's not there, it's just a
mustache,
mustache.
dude.
I tried. Excuse me, guys. I tried to talk somebody out about this. One of my students, while he's on treatment and he's walking, I tried to convince him just to move a little bit harder. I asked him, "How you go to swim, man? You can see that you are not like the others. You have to improve yourself. You have to lose weight. You have to shape yourself." He said, "No, I'm very pretty like that." So he accepts that he is very pretty while he's very obese.
Oh,
Really
man.
Riyadh, I think.
Acceptance.
Sorry, I think it's just it's about trying to find a way for them to relate to why they need to be healthy. I guess if there's no reason for them, then they won't do it. They're not motivated to do it. So it's finding a way of how you can relate things for them to make it relevant to their lives. Like, do they like playing football? Because for me at my school, it's huge. All the kids love playing football, so you try to explain to them, if you want to play football, then you've got to be fit enough to do it.
I will see what I will do this year. Before they bring me a heart stroke or something, next year I will change my job definitely. I can't survive like this.
It's a tough gig, yeah, definitely, because obesity is an issue.
Yeah,
Even in
especially if you
primary
can't
school for
talk to
me.
parents. I mean, if food is where it's at, and those kids aren't
It's
making
the
their own
home.
food probably, and that's the basis for everything. You can't do much
Absolutely.
without changing that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, at that point, I think studies have shown by the age of like 13, 14, your mind is already made up, whether consciously or not, what you feel is right and what is wrong. So whether you started to smoke or drink or anything like that doesn't matter. Your mind's already decided, well, if everybody in my family smokes, it must be okay to do it. So that's why you got to catch them before. Do you work in Riyadh, I can't remember, do you work in a building with younger students as well, or do you connect with what schools feed into your school? Because that's where you got to get them. You got to work with those people to kind of start really, even working with them more. You got to have that vertical collaboration to say, hey, they're coming to me like this. Not that they have any effect on them at home, but they're the ones that need to get in their head more what's right and what's wrong, and the fact that going home and binge eating on fries and greasy, fatty, junky food isn't good at that younger age, because like you said, when they get to you, they don't see anything wrong with it because they've already decided that that's okay to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I can't cooperate vertically with any teachers. There's a few limits in the idea of the school. I'm not a coach. Like we are 50 coach or 45 coach, and each one got a group. Some of the groups, like my group, are obese, but some of them they are really fit. Um, but you can contact parents. It's a little bit it's so many rules. Well, you can do anything. your own relation just through you have the kids, and you are like a they call you coach. You are not a fitness trainer for them. You are PE. You are a PE teacher. But the problem that you can't do anything with them. They need help. I'm trying to, and really I'm exhausting myself with them. But I feel that I'm depressed. I'm trying to figure it out. It's not worked till now. 2 months it's not working.
I think it goes higher above that you need to be discussing with the people above your
Need the support,
concerns.
definitely.
Yeah, you need the support there.
Yeah.
Riyadh, can you do one thing? Like all of us, most of us are using Edmodo. I think Edmodo adds parents also. So what you could do is some fitness report that something, make an sheet or Google sheet or something that you could share even with parents. The kids are also into it, and you as a teacher is also added to the sheet. So the parents can actually track their like fitness record and how they are performing in school. So maybe in that way you can involve even parents, not directly but indirectly, showing them that see what are the effects your kids are facing. I don't know whether this could help you, but can you do something like that?
I will see Edmodo. It's my first time to hear about, but I will try to download it. I will try to read it. I will see if it comes. Thanks a lot.
I know the kids in our school, like when I came in, that they use the presidential fitness award, Justin?
Yep.
Nick?
Yep.
Yeah. So our kids use that as a baselining sort of test. So maybe look at some worldwide different ones we had that you can give them some targets to, right, this is where you are at the moment, how are we going to get there through healthy eating, etc.
Okay,
And
thanks.
make sure you link to like why. Like, why is it important?
Yeah.
Because if kids don't know why they're doing something, they could care less. So, I mean, really try to find out why, and let them know why it's important. Do you want to develop type 2 diabetes? Do you want to have a heart attack? Do you want to have a stroke? You're at twice as much or 3 times as much risk for this cancer, this cancer, this cancer. All those things are going to happen. Do you want to lose your foot because you have type 2 diabetes? Do you want to lose your eyesight because of diabetes? Almost like that scare tactic even a little bit, but it's the truth. Like tell them, hey, this is what's going to, or what could happen down the road if you don't make any of these changes. And then find the activity. But that's, it's easier said than done.
Definitely. Okay.
Thanks a lot for the notes, guys. So many notes.
So Osama has suggested that we come up with some visions and goals for what we want to achieve as part of the phys ed ME section. So if you guys want to start thinking, and we'll do this bit as an open forum rather than me just picking on people. So what we sort of want to achieve, or something that we can set as a goal that as a group of practitioners we can achieve by the end of the year. So I don't know if Osama, you want to take the lead, or?
Oh, me? No.
I'll tell you straight up. I want to do, one of the goals is connecting my kids with outside schools, whether it's outside of my actual area or outside the state or the country. So what I think would be really cool is to do a Google Hangout with other classes. And if the time periods are really off, we take videos like Rima was talking about earlier and send them. I've done the physical challenges over I've done Skype and Google Hangouts. So we get like 10 kids to plank all at the same time and see which of the 10 can last the longest. We could have a timer on the side in the video if we're going to do it by videos. But I really wanted to stretch my global citizenship and digital citizenship by teaming up with you guys, because just the fact that you speak English for most of you as a second language, it is amazing to me. And my kids complain about having to learn Spanish, which isn't really that difficult of a language when you think about it, compared to English, which makes no sense with half the rules that we have in there. And you guys use it as one of your primary ways of teaching. So it'd be really cool for my kids to see that outside the world, everybody knows 2, 3, and 4 languages like it's no problem, and they really should stop complaining about having to count to 20 in Spanish. So I would enjoy that, but definitely want to try to connect with my school outside using some kind of video program. So whether it's Skype or Google Hangouts, either ones. Google Hangouts are fine for me. So that would be really cool. Even if we want to teach each other new games or different games. I have a couple that you guys probably haven't heard of that aren't really that well known that my kids would love teaching. I'm sure you guys have a ton that are more towards what you guys are that I probably haven't heard of. So that would be one of the goals for me that I would hope we could do, is really connect our kids globally.
Nice. So more of a global citizenship as a goal.
Correct.
So incorporating global citizenship within PE.
Absolutely.
Anyone else out there? Come on, let's go. Open
Team
house.
emails that keep showing up.
For me, it's it kind of goes back to my personal goal is to improve my use of assessments and making them meaningful assessments that will actually help and improve student learning. Because 2 years ago, our schools they went from K to 4 elementary schools to K to 6. And prior to that point, I never gave a grade. The kids were just given a T for taught on their report card. So then 2 years ago, all of a sudden I had to give grades. Well, I never did that before. So, and of course, for us, assessments aren't given to us. We have to create everything that we do. So I've really been trying to improve my use of assessments to not as much, not always for a grade, but also more for feedback for myself, whether the students are getting the content and understanding it, so that I can either reteach it or know, hey, well, they got that, so I can move on. So that sort of thing. Video analysis is something that I'd like to use more of in order to help me with that. But again, I got to make sure that it is meaningful. It is measuring what objectives I'm trying to accomplish, all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of a ongoing project. And the other thing is, kind of like Justin said, continue to get my students connected with other kids, other classes, so to kind of break down the walls of their classroom and see, hey, even though they might be in another state, another country, some things might be different, but in the end, as 10-year-old kids, they're 10-year-old kids. And I think they'd be amazed at how similar they actually are to kids, in other states and countries. And I think that again, global connection it would be neat for them to kind of see and experience.
Yeah, I think they're two great visions or goals. So global citizenship developed through PE and developing assessment in PE through collaboration.
Okay,
I think we could come with one more as well, maybe.
Okay, to this year, we're gonna just try to find a balance between using technology and why we're gonna use it. I try not to force it. I'm just gonna look at why I'm gonna use it. Is gonna be helping me to deliver the curriculum and just find the best ones. So try it before to force some things, and maybe consuming time and the quality will not be great. So I'm gonna try to find the balance, what I need and why I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's more like Nick's saying, like it's a tool to aid learning. It shouldn't be there just to replace. We had this discussion the other day, and we were in a professional development meeting, and we were talking about, students can now go home and get a lesson off YouTube on a lot of different theoretical matters. So what do you bring to the classroom as a teacher? And we were talking about how we can develop relationships or make these innovative lessons. And yeah, it comes back to using technology that is a tool that they're all familiar with, but using it to aid their learning and develop what they've already done in previous lessons.
Yeah, you're right. So mainly, to be honest, I'm going to be looking at apps to make my PE more active, and it's the things that the kids can do with apps at home to get the PE more active. I'm going to look at that more.
Good.
Rima.
Yeah. I think currently, like when it comes to technology, I've been using a lot of technology and yeah, integrating a lot of it with my students. So basically, here I want more teachers, you know, to get into using a lot of these forums where they can collaborate with each other. Like I work in a team of 12 teachers. So having 12 PE teachers and at the same platform, it's very difficult, like getting ideas from all over the world, from all you teachers, and then implementing back. You know, so first as a teacher, what I need to do is I first need to teach them. So I take a lot of PD sessions here. So my main goal right now is, you know, getting all these informations that I get from here, you know, try to get it through to my team, and then, you know, show them how they can implement, because they are not much tech savvy. So I also need to show them how to use technology with all the different grades. So getting more of my teachers active globally is what I really want to do. So.
Rama or Riyadh?
Going back to our group goals, Fasid and me goals, I can hear you talking about how to use text, and I think we talked about too much. It's now to set goals. Are we moved to there or not yet, Adam?
Yeah.
Adam, I can hear you.
Say that again, Riyadh.
I said that, did we move to goal setting or our Fazid and me or Middle East groups goals? Because I can hear that you are talking about technology and how to implement.
So talking about what goals as a group we should really be setting for ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I thought about. At first, I think our group should be innovation group. Should like to produce a new high quality of physical education class in Middle East. That's what the first thought that come to me, because Middle East area, or it's like behind the other countries in this thing, and we are the first group, I think, on the Middle East who present physical education mentors or tutors. I have this idea about learning through fun theory, especially with the elementary school. I would like to discuss it with you next time, maybe. Now we can implement that. Is that the right way to do it? And I think Fazid and me will be the new era of physical education class in Middle East for some of the schools. We can tell that some of them they are improved, but we are talking about a lot of schools that they doesn't have technology till these days. So we'll see how it will be helped. How we figure it out.
Yeah. So
Adam?
I was just listening and putting those ideas into my head, sort of thing. So like sort of enhancing a change in PE through I don't know, looking for a change in PE in the Middle East or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can do it like that.
I'm just trying to collect my thoughts. Anyone else got anything to add? Avril?
I'm just reading through what you've typed there. Citizenship, development. I feel like a stalker. I can just see whatever you're typing. Yeah, definitely. I think assessment's the big thing. As I found who was it, Justin? Were you talking about just putting whatever they've achieved, or our grading system here is nothing like anything I've seen. So I guess it's making ourselves accountable for what's happening in our programs.
Yeah.
Do you guys do your fitness testing?
No, actually, not in elementary.
I mean that for me is pretty easy data to keep track of, and it's pretty concrete. So
Yeah.
I like that. Plus, showing throughout the year when their fitness goes up is definitely a way to I don't know, just to show people that your effort is visually can be confirmed somewhere, but with facts. So I know nowadays everything's data driven over here in education, where we're kind of losing the student, and we're now turning students into numbers. Everything's a number for fitness testing or testing on their end of the year stuff. So, but that for me, I'm not a huge test person. I do it because I have to.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. And then with Adam teaching me AutoCrat and Nick helping me out with it, it's really easy and looks pretty sharp. So if you get a chance, I would delve into that, and it's not too difficult.
Yeah, I guess it's trying to fit it into the curriculum, because it's not a module in our curriculum here. So I guess doing health-related fitness might be one way to do it. But again, we get PE once a week for 45 minutes, and half that time is spent changing shoes. It's a joke. So for me, it's time to fit it in as well as get what we need to teach in.
Yeah, it's difficult. I'll tell you, time is never easy.
Yeah.
There was a great article on Naomi's blog about.
Yep.
I can't remember who wrote it, but talking about how to make even if you've only got limited time, use that time. So there was strategies and ideas about how to, for example, when people walk into your gym, that is what you're going to complete. So that's what you're going to do, and that cuts down on a lot of time.
Yep.
I think little things I used to use when I was student teaching for getting kids changed quickly was, if it's a shoe thing, just get a 1 minute song clip, and they all have to have their shoes done and tied before the song finishes, and then they're leaving in a certain time.
Yeah, we tried music.
What about having a game already set up that as the students are ready, I mean, the sooner you're ready, the sooner you start to play.
I do that at the moment. I always have a starter,
Yeah.
so that they don't want to miss out. But there are just those few over here with the kids having nannies and all that. They don't learn to do things that kids normally do when they're 5 years old.
That's everywhere. Don't feel bad.
Yeah. We all have
Yeah.
nannies.
World.
Yeah, nannies. Yeah.
What's going on with these kids and their nannies? Honestly, they're not doing anything for themselves.
Nannies.
Yeah, nannies might be better than mommies sometimes. I'll tell you what. I run into the same problem where, how come you guys aren't taking any of the responsibility yourselves? Why do I have to hold your hand through every aspect of things? So it's quite difficult there.
Yeah, that's a PE teacher problem.
Definitely, I think that's a PE. I think that's a PE teacher problem all across the world. Not enough time and too many things to do. Or is that just teaching in general?
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
in general.
you know what? With a classroom teacher, they don't need to get changed into different shoes for PE. They don't need to get changed into their swimsuits for swimming. So they don't have those problems.
I'm not going to get into that argument.
I've never seen it that bad.
Okay, one more thing. Our final thing. Ria wants to talk about assessment.
Yes, I want to mention that in our school we do assessment test for students after each semester. They do 12-minute Cooper test run. They do push-up with less than 2 minutes and sit-up, and we compare the norms with the results. And if the students hit their norms, they will get like a discount. They will get like a special prize from the administration. That's a little bit help, but not too much. But it's good to have assessment like that, I think, in school, and it helped to give them a special grades, special ranks with the students.
Mm. And who I can't remember someone's blog I was reading, but they were talking about, might have been Matt Pomeroy's, but if it's not, I apologise. Talking about how he could get the kids running more, and he had a class full of boys, and to get them more competitive, every time they were to do their results each week, they would put their distances in for however far they've run. And he just used it as a 5 or 10 minute warm up, something like that. And then they would put those results in through a Google form each lesson, and then he'd put a scoreboard up each week, so the boys would get more and more competitive to be able to, I want to be top of that league. And then after there was different distances that would give them a bronze, silver or gold sort of medal. And then he would send like a certificate out via autocrat. So once they'd achieved, I don't know, so many thousand meters, they would then get a bronze certificate that they've achieved this far in running, this far in silver. So depends on your group, and obviously your teachers need to know their group. But something like that could be quite a way of getting your kids moving.
Yeah, I think they need some sort of incentive, don't they?
Yeah.
And what do you do about the kids who just don't care? They don't want that certificate. Couldn't care less for a star.
Yeah, or the kids who know that they're not going to get a certificate. Yeah. I mean, if you're slow, you know, that's where I try to take the competition out. And again, I don't know the group of kids Matt had, so it does depend on that. But I mean, it's difficult. The motivation for what I tell the kids is just to improve upon yourself. You're not going against other people, you're going against yourself. And I'm sure, Adam, you're a runner. You know that certain races and marathons you do, you're not going to win them. I don't care how hard you train. There are just some people that are just that good. At least for me, no matter how hard I train, I know that there's people in the world that just run quick. They're just faster than I'll ever be on my fastest day, on their slowest day. But it's about me improving my time and getting better. It's not me versus everyone else. It's me versus myself. And if they can understand that you're just trying to get yourself better, that's really the motivation we want to put into kids. Because, I mean, let's be honest, unless you're an Olympic athlete, there's always someone faster, always someone better at what we're doing. You just have to improve upon yourself. Except for Adam. He's always winning his races.
Way to shoot a man down.
Yeah, wounded. Yeah, but it's about teaching them about their own personal skills, or like giving them their own personal targets to try and achieve.
All right, people, I am going to leave. I think my wife is creeping behind me saying, why are you downstairs at 5:30 in the morning?
Skype with your girlfriend.
Hear you talking. All right, guys. Well, have a good one. Thank you for inviting me, and I will catch up with you guys on the Vox.
Okay, speak to you soon.
See you later.
Yeah, I got to join Justin here, too, and get my
I think that's a great time to start finishing off anyway.
All right.
So,
hey, thanks for having me, everybody, and I appreciated and enjoyed the conversation here this morning. So hopefully we can do it again.
See you, Nick.
Thanks for getting up so early.
Yeah, that's dedication right there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, but I'm glad I did. So have a good day.
Good on you.
Have a great day.
Thanks for being here.
So yeah, I'm gonna sum up, and Osama, have you got anything else to say?
No, just talk about what's our vision or our goal for meeting in here. I'm not sure if all of you heard about Piplic. Adam, you've been part of it, yeah? And I think we need to take this one forward step. And now I think Andy and Nathan, they wanted to do that launch Piplic 2. I'm not sure what's that, so it seems like there's more goals. And as we say, we usually talk in general things. It's good to be more when we focus more about these one of those 5 categories they set up as like leadership, assessment, or elevation, and yeah. So maybe even that way, I thought we start like in a general one, getting more people on board in here in PZME, and from there, either we maybe every week we focus on one of those areas till we have enough people. Then we maybe then spread off to those 5 areas.
Yeah, I think that. Sorry, I think that's until it's actually been published that we need to speak about maybe at a later time about what sort of groups we want to go into and what we think. Some of us may want to leave some of the groups if we're going to be just looking for the Middle East and start pushing that a lot more, Osama.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to get people more maybe on Vox or Twitter than maybe in here, and then we look at what areas we need to improve at.
Yeah, but I think as a group, as a phys ed ME group, I think vision of global citizenship developed through PE, developing assessment in PE through collaboration, and enhancing a change in attitudes through purposeful PE, especially in the Middle East. I think they're pretty 3 decent goals unless anyone wants to add to those.
Well, looks good.
Osama? Oh, he's gone.
No, he's back. Timing.
Osama, you back with us? I think he's got technical problems. Okay, well, I'm going to sum up there then, and hopefully you all have an amazing day, and I hope some of you have learnt something. I know I have. And hopefully the next one we can start to be talking a little bit more about or the second pep book that's going to be coming into play very soon.
Yep.
Okay, so that's bye from me, Osama. No, he's got technical difficulties. We can't hear you.
Thanks for leading this, Adam.
My pleasure, and I will speak to you all soon, and hope you all have an amazing day.
You too.
Okay,
Thanks.
see you later. Bye bye.
Thanks for
having me.
Thanks for presenting that. Thank guys. See you later next time on next GH. And out from Abu Dhabi.
Bye from Indonesia.
See you around.